Why, hello there, skeleton warriors and zorcs alike. Shams Nelson here from Pen and Blade. And in this little episode, what I've got here is an adventure that I created using the random region generator. I might have some exciting news about that coming up, but I don't want to spill the beans just yet. But, so I used it to create 3 different terrains, and I sequenced them and I challenged myself to create a story based on the 3 terrains. So those are the High Sword Swamp, the Orc Mountain Peak, and the Grove Diamond Mountain. Alright, so, and then in addition, I also rolled a monster for the first 2 segments because I had already come up with the villain I wanted for the final boss of the 3rd one. Though maybe at the end of this video, you know what, let's do that. Let's at the end of this video, we'll roll a monster for the 3rd segment and we'll see how we can work that in. So, starting at the High Sword Swamp, this adventure is going to take place with a monk that comes from, a monastery, a very powerful monastery, and he finds that one of the other monks he's suspicious of and discovers that he's practicing dark necromantic magics from forbidden scrolls. So one day this monk sets out, this is this guy right here we're talking about, and the other young monk follows him because he senses something is amiss and notices that he has stolen the lotus flower, the lotus amulet, which I'll explain, it has a great power, let's say, for now. And he's also on his way to find so this is when your adventurers meet up with this monk, this is what he'll explain to them, is that they need to stop him before he gets hold of a large diamond. He has to find a diamond larger than a human heart, and using that and the lotus flower amulet, he'll be able to take diamond body form, and then he'll be practically invincible and won't age, and his skin will be as hard as diamonds. So, and clearly he's an evil guy, so he's got to be stopped. So the first stop is a High Sword Swamp because there's a sword made of diamonds embedded in a stone there. And by the time the adventurers get there, he's already going to have passed through this region and realize that he could not pull the sword because the sword has 3 requirements. And the first one is it must be a good alignment, because the sword has some story that you'll have to make up and let me know in the comments of a great hero. You know, it's for a good person. It's a sword with a good alignment and it's made of diamonds, you know, so it's like purity. It symbolizes purity. So he raises 3 skeleton warriors, 3 of the best warriors who died in these swamps, because there are like people who died in the swamps all over the place. I don't know why. Maybe we've got to throw a creature in there. So if you want to make this a longer adventure, you could have some kind of swamp creature that they face first, and then they find these 3 skeletons guarding it. And if they can pull the sword, great. If they can't, they still need to find this guy. And the monk is gonna say that he must have gone to the Grove Diamond Mountain, the Diamond Grove. I guess it's gonna have to be the Diamond Grove. That makes more sense. So he went to the hidden Diamond Grove deep within the mountains. There's a place that the monks know about, and it's forbidden to go there, but we have to go stop him, basically. So you also have to have a 20 strength and a 20 charisma check. So you do 2 checks, plus you have to be good alignment, and if you pull it, I thought it would do 3d8 damage, plus you can cast True Strike, and as a bonus action, you know, a number of times per day equal to your charisma modifier. And it'd be fun because I think this would be a cool part because you can make the 3 skeleton warriors whatever kind you want. Like one could have a great huge battle axe, or one could have been a rogue, so he could be fast. Like this guy in the middle, I was thinking would have like a red cape and like 2 daggers, and he's like, and then this guy is like more of a traditional, you know, sabred armored warrior, and this guy's an orc, you know, so you could have different races. One could be like a little gnome or whatever. So to get to the Grove Diamond Mountain, they have to travel a path that's going to go through this orc village. And by the time they get there, they realize that this guy, who whatever his name is, we got to come up with a name for him, the evil monk has already passed through and cast a dark spell to turn them all into zombies, into zorcs. So the zorcs and you can fight, and then if they search around, they find the shaman's chambers. It'll have like, you know, crazy skulls and feathers and be painted. Be pretty the most conspicuous home or you know, building in the town. And so there, the shaman is the only one unaffected by the zombie thing because he's magical, but he's like all sad. So they could he might attack them thinking that they did it. I think that's what would happen. And if they get him to join their side, if they kill him or whatever, they can take his staff, which does some necrotic damage. Blame. Shoots lasers, and you should be able to summon skeletons, and the number of skeletons equal to your wisdom modifier, but you actually have to have the skeletons around. They don't just like come out of nowhere. But as you sleep, it does 1d6 damage to the wielder when they're sleeping, and I'll let you decide if you want that to be before or after they heal. So depending on how intense you want it to be, but it could like kill someone if they're like right about to die, and then they do 1d6 damage, takes them to, you know, like these dreams, these dark spirits that inhabit the shaman staff, you know, come to haunt your dreams. So that's pretty creepy. But if they have him join you, then maybe he can do some healing magic or cast some kind of defensive ward. I don't know. What if there's some kind of going with the spirit themes, like a spirit armor, and there's these like these dark spirits, and if someone hits you, they attack back and do like a d4 damage every time you take damage. So they could either have him join, they could destroy him and take his staff, whatever you feel like doing. Then you're going to move on to the Grove Diamond Mountain, where we're going to have the encounter with our friend here, who they're going to arrive just as he is casting the spell, where maybe he has to I don't know, he like something crazy where I would think like he'd have to like take the diamond and take the sharp point and jab it into his heart, but then like as he casts the spell, but then it's like he turns to diamond, so it doesn't actually harm him. But it was like a leap of faith, and so they see him like about to stab himself with a diamond shard, and the guy's like, oh no, and but then nothing happens. Oh, he's as hard as a diamond, and the only way, so maybe he has like damage resistance. The pigeon just flew up here. He has like damage reduction of like 20 or something really high, 25, unless you remove the lotus pendant. All right, so that would be like the kind of trick for this battle. And I think we said we were gonna roll a monster for this. I'll bring up the random region generator on my computer just to make things a little faster, I think. And I think it's gonna be a D20, so let me roll that right now. So we got a 13. So perhaps by his side he has recruited a goblin. Maybe just a run off goblin that kind of just saw the opportunity of like, all right, this guy looks like he's gonna be powerful. So there could be a goblin by his side. A goblin, let's give him a class. Let's see, we needed 12 for that. And he's gonna be a cleric. Oh, okay, makes sense. So he's an apprentice cleric this guy's probably a monk, but he's like learning the dark necromantic arts from him because he realizes he has these powers. And maybe on him there's also monk's beads. And I was also gonna say like necromantic scrolls. So if that's something you want to work in, but I was like, how does that work if there are necromantic scrolls in 5th edition D&D, like full of spells? I guess you'd have to get components and stuff, but it'd be cool if there was like 3 or 4 spells, like how to turn people into zombies. Oh, and I forgot to mention, back at Orc Mountain Peak, the guy might assume that the shaman would assume by killing the person who cast the spell, it would undo the curse, and I think that could be fair. So then once they defeat this guy, then the curse of the orcs will be undone, and perhaps they'll be grateful. So that's another little side thing. And the monk's beads, the lotus amulet, I figured it was a healing thing. In the right hands, it's like super powerful, but like if you just have it as like a trinket, then, but +4 wisdom is pretty good. But then you want to, you know, they'd be expected to return the Lotus Amulet to the, they could just give it to the kid and move on, or go back to the temple and return it in person. So yeah, this was a fun little exercise and adventure, I think. Oh, I needed a name. The Trouble at Diamond Grove. I don't know. Let's just go with that for now. And until next time, peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.